all the winners of today and the entire team of Parliament. I think it's a fantastic concept. And first of all, what I would like to mention here, uh, really speaking, we don't need any motivation from outside. We have an inspiration right in front of us. So I would like all, please give them a big round of applause. मैं आपको एक दो चीज़ें पहले क्लियर कर दूं कि आई एम नॉट अ मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर. तो आप ये उम्मीद मत करिए कि मैं आपको हंसाऊंगा या आपका एंटरटेनमेंट करूंगा. नो, दैट्स आई एम नॉट. बट व्हाट आई एम डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू स्पीक टू यू टुडे is something straight from my heart, something which I have experienced, something that I have benefited from, something that has worked for me, and I'm sure something that will work for every one of you as the entrepreneurs. When Akshay spoke to me about the whole concept, and I was very glad, I said yes, talking to the entrepreneurs is always a pleasure. And I said, of course, I'm going to speak on this topic. So in next 40-45 minutes, what I'm going to share with you is all about finance.
वो अपना बिजनेस करने आई हैं.
You know, once, can we have that door closed, please? Can we have the door closed here?
आपका इतना
Okay,
स्ट्रांगली बोलने के बाद भी नहीं.
You know, once in a plane, 4 passengers were flying together. And these passengers were
वो वहाँ से बोल रहे हैं.
परवेज मुशर्रफ, बराक ओबामा, एक छोटा सा हिंदुस्तानी बच्चा, and Pope. So these 4 passengers were flying together in a plane. Unfortunately, this plane developed a technical problem, so it had to crash land. And unfortunately, they had only 3 parachutes. So 4 passenger, 3 parachute, और plane उनका होने वाला था crash. So they immediately had an emergency meeting and they said, look, हम लोग 4 हैं, हमारे पास 3 पैराशूट है, हमारा प्लेन क्रैश करने वाला है. इसका मतलब ये है कि ओनली 3 लोग बचेंगे, एक आदमी ने अपनी जान गंवानी पड़ेगी. So they had a meeting and they said, look, our plane is going to crash. Only 3 people can survive. So the criteria is कि हम में से जो 3 लोग ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट हैं, वो तीनों लोग एक एक पैराशूट उठाएंगे, जंप एंड सेव देयर लाइफ. एंड चौथा पैसेंजर जो कि ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, he will have to die with the plane. So immediately Barack Obama got up. He said, look, I am the president of United States of America. I am the most important person on this earth. I have got all the rights to survive. So he very authoritatively picked up 1 parachute, jumped and saved his life. तो परवेज ने सोचा, जिस तरह की धुलाई मेरी पाकिस्तान के अंदर और पाकिस्तान के बाहर होती रहती है, who knows whether I stand a chance in terms of importance in front of this small child. So why take a chance? परवेज ने इधर देखा, उधर देखा, धीरे से एक पैराशूट उठाया, jump and saved his life. So now 2 passengers and 1 parachute. तो पोप ने बच्चे को बुलाया और बोले, देखो बेटा, I have lived my life, so you don't worry about me. We still have 1 parachute left. You take it, jump and save your life. तो बच्चा बोलता, नहीं फादर, हमारे पास अभी भी 2 पैराशूट हैं. वो परवेज अंकल जल्दी में गलती से मेरा स्कूल बैग लेके नीचे. तो फ्रेंड्स, in today's world, it doesn't really matter as to what industry do you come from. In today's world, it doesn't really matter as to what profession you are in. In today's world, it doesn't really matter as to what do you do. In today's world, if you are an entrepreneur, if you do not understand finance, it is like jumping from a plane without a parachute. In next 30, 35, 40 minutes, I'm going to share with you some of the things about the finance, basics of finance, and which I am sure you will find extremely useful. You know, we have a classic case in this very own city called Pune. आप सभी को मालूम है DSK. Isn't it? Are you all aware? DSK is such a successful businessman. And where is he today? And why here, why, where, जहाँ भी वो हैं आज की तारीख में क्यों हैं? Because of bad financial management. So 3 चीजें which I'm going to share with you. And I want to make this session interactive, so I don't want to give you lecture. मुझे मालूम है कि lectures बहुत boring होते हैं. So what I intend to do is make this session interactive, and I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, and I would of course encourage all of you to ask me questions as and when you want. तो मेरा सबसे पहला question आप सभी से, what is purpose of a business? A basic question. All of us are entrepreneurs. What is the purpose of any business? All of you.
Earning profit.
Earning profit. Okay. What else?
Value creation.
Value creation. What else? What else? What else?
Create employment.
See again.
Create employment.
Create employment, of course. What else?
Connecting people.
Connecting people. What else?
Solve the people problem.
Solve the people problem. Okay. What else?
Create legacy.
Create.
Legacy.
Okay. What else?
Contribute to society.
Contribute to the society. Yes, of course. Friends, let me tell you. Typically, पूरी दुनिया में लोग बिजनेस चालू करते हैं 4 कारणों से. The first and foremost reason as to why people start business, पापी पेट के लिए. Yes or no?
Yes.
Isn't it? सबसे पहला मकसद दुनिया में कोई अगर बिजनेस चालू करता है तो उसका ये है कि भाई मेरा और मेरे परिवार का पालन पोषण हो. That's number 1. Number 2, the second reason why people start business, क्योंकि पड़ोसी को दिखाना है, रिश्तेदार को दिखाना है और उससे ज्यादा करके दिखाना है. Yes or no?
Yes.
Isn't it? That is what drives people. So a lot of people, when they do business, they are only driven by one thing, कि कब मैं मेरे भाई से बड़ा होके दिखाऊं, कब मैं मेरे पड़ोसी से ज्यादा करके दिखाऊं. Third reason as to why do people do business is to show the world. अच्छी बात है, nothing wrong, right? So तीसरा कारण why people start business, क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं कि मुझे पूरी दुनिया recognize करे, मुझे पूरी दुनिया appreciate करे. It's all right, but no big deal. क्योंकि अगर आप मुझसे पूछें कि अगर कोई recognition के लिए काम कर रहा है, if I can tell you bluntly, he is a beggar. Yes or no? Isn't it? Ultimately, if you're asking something from somebody, it may be recognition, and you're begging. And the fourth reason why people do business, and to those people I call businessmen, to those people I call real entrepreneurs, the fourth category of people as to why do they business is because they want to make difference in the life of others. Yes or no? Isn't it? Right, so there's 4 reasons as to why people do business. The first one is for papi pet. Second one is you want to show to somebody. Third is because you want to make an impact on the whole, you want to show to everybody in the world. And the fourth is because you want to make a difference in the life of everybody. And please remember, if you want to become successful as an entrepreneur, what should you be driven by? What should be your driver? The first one, or the second one, or the third one, or the fourth one? And the answer is fourth one. So please take this message very clearly in your mind that I am an entrepreneur not because I am worried about myself. I am an entrepreneur not because I want to show to somebody. I am an entrepreneur not because I want somebody to recognize me. I am an entrepreneur because I want to make a difference in the life of so many people. And believe me, the people who are driven by an urge to make a difference in the life of others, they become people like Ratan Tata. They become people like Ajim Premji. They become people like Ghanshyam Das Birla. So ultimately, the purpose of any business is not to make profit. And I'm sure some of you must be wondering as to what am I saying? How can it be that the purpose of a business is not to make profit? And I'm telling you, purpose of a business is not to make profit. And why do I say this? Remember, if the purpose of a business was to make profit, then you will not see a company called Google. Why? Because Larry Page and Sarji Bin, in the very first year of their operations, made profit. And they would have said that the purpose of a business is to make profit. We have made profit. Purpose is achieved. Let us close the business. If the purpose of a business was to make profit, then you would not see a company called Microsoft. Why? Because if the purpose of a business was to make profit, you would not see this company called Microsoft. Why? Because Bill Gates in the very first year of his operations made profit. And he would have said that the purpose of a business is to make profit. I have made profit. Purpose is achieved. Let me close the business. And why do I say this? That the purpose of a business is not to make profit, because remember, and please pay attention, making profit is like eating food. Yes or no? Food you have to eat. But the purpose of life is not to eat food. Yes or no? Are you with me? Right? So please remember, the purpose of a business is not to make profit, because making profit is like eating food. खाना मुझे और आपको खाना ही है, लेकिन मेरी जिंदगी का मकसद खाना नहीं है. And why do I say this? And I say this because making profit, please understand, is mandatory. Making profit in the business is mandatory. It's not a choice. It's not something that you decide कि मुझे profit बनाना है, इसलिए मुझे business में आना है. No, because if you are in business, you better make profit. And if you're in business and if you're not making profit, the least that you can do is to give your business to somebody else who can make profit. Yes or no? Are you with me? And that is what a lot of people do. So then what is the purpose of a business? The purpose of a business, please understand, is to somebody said it, is to create value. और मैं आपको बताऊं, as an entrepreneur, आप किसका काम करते हो? Please remember, as an entrepreneur, आप किसका काम करते हो? आपको मालूम है, आप ब्रह्मा का काम करते हो. किसका काम करते हो? ब्रह्मा का काम करते हो. Why? Because Brahma is the creator, and as entrepreneurs, you are also creators. You are also creators. So remember, the purpose of a business is to create value. Now the question is, how do you create value? And why do you create value? How do you create value? Number one, by converting resources into result. Say it again with me. How do you create value? You create value by converting resources into result. And let me give you an example. Let me give an example from the company with I worked, and this company is ArcelorMittal, the company of Lakshmi Nivas Mittal. Mr. Mittal, about 35 years back, set up a steel plant somewhere in Indonesia. What Mr. Mittal was doing? Mr. Mittal was converting resources into result. Why? Because he had some money, he had some knowledge of the steel industry, and what he was doing, he used his knowledge and his resources, his capital, and he converted that capital and that resource into a world-class steel making plant somewhere in Indonesia. So now what do you do? आपने अपने रिसोर्सेस को इस्तेमाल करके वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लांट बना दिया. अब आप क्या करेंगे? Go to market, buy a big lock and put it onto the factory gate? Of course not. Of course not. Now what you do? Having converted your resources into result, now what you do? You convert your result into resources. That means what? That means अब जब आपके पास में स्टील का प्लांट है, produce steel, sell it in the market, and when you sell it in the market, you get money, and that means now what you are doing? You are converting result into resources. So remember, the purpose of a business is to create value. And how do you create value? You create value by converting into and result into resources. अब देखिए, सिंपल सा है. आप लोग एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं, and I want to ignite your vision. I want you to go from this program, this burning desire. All the empires that you see on the earth today, दुनिया में जितनी भी बड़ी बिजनेस एम्पायर्स हैं, वो टाटास हो, अंबानी हो, बिल गेट्स हो, कोई भी हो, how have they become so big? They have become so big by converting resources into and result into resources. So if Tatas have become Tata, they have become so because what Tatas have been doing, Tatas have been converting resources into result and result into resources. The moment you stop this chain, you stop growing. Are you with me? Isn't it? If Tatas would have stopped at one point in time, would the Tatas have been the way they are today? And the answer is no. And why do you do this? Why do you do this? You do it because you want to create value. And please understand, why do you want to create value? You want to create value because you want to make a positive difference in the life of others. Now please understand, the God, परमेश्वर ने हमको दुनिया में इसलिए नहीं भेजा कि हम पैसा कमाएं, बैंक में इकट्ठा करें और एक दिन मर जाएं। परमेश्वर ने हमको दुनिया में इसलिए भेजा है, अगर आपको परमेश्वर ने एंटरप्रेन्योर बनाया है तो इसलिए बनाया है क्योंकि उसको आपकी काबिलियत में भरोसा है, उसको मालूम है कि आप बिजनेस सेटअप करेंगे, हजारों लाखों लोगों को आप भला करेंगे, हजारों लाखों लोगों की जिंदगी में मुस्कान लेके आएंगे. And that is the purpose of a business, is to create value. The second question, when I joined ArcelorMittal, by the way, मैं आपको बताऊं कि 1981 में मैंने मेरा बीकॉम फिनिश किया और जब मैंने मेरा बीकॉम फिनिश किया, आई वाज इन हिंदी मीडियम, राजस्थान से मैंने बीकॉम किया और ग्रेजुएशन तक, बीकॉम फिनिश करने तक मेरा जो एजुकेशन का मोड था दैट वाज हिंदी मीडियम. सो जो अकाउंटिंग की एंट्रीज होती हैं, डेबिट क्रेडिट, वो सब मैंने हिंदी में लिखा हुआ है. तो बीकॉम करने के बाद सवाल आया कि क्या करना चाहिए. सो आई हैड टू चॉइसेस. The choice number one, which was of course a common choice at that time, कि भाई चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी का कोर्स करो, सीए का कोर्स करो. पर मुझे लगा सीए का कोर्स यानी कि 4-5 साल तो करने में लगेंगे, उसकी कोई गारंटी नहीं है, क्योंकि सीए का फुल फॉर्म मालूम है आपको क्या है? सीए का फुल फॉर्म है कम अगेन, कम अगेन, कम अगेन, कीप कमिंग. तो मुझे लगा कि 4 साल तो ये कोर्स कंप्लीट करने में लगेंगे और फिर प्रैक्टिस में जाओ तो 3-4 साल और लग जाएंगे. अब मैंने कहा 7-8 साल तक एडल्ट होने के बाद अपने पेरेंट्स के भरोसे जीवन चलाना अच्छी बात नहीं है. सो आई सेड ओके, नो, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू सीए, आई विल गो फॉर एमबीए, बिकॉज एमबीए में क्या है, एंट्री मुश्किल है लेकिन एग्जिट पक्का है और उसके साथ साथ जॉब भी मिलना पक्का है. सो आई सेड ओके, आई विल डू एमबीए. तो मैंने पूना में सिम्बियोसिस, SIBM, सभी ने नाम सुना ही होगा, उसका फॉर्म भरा और तैयारी करनी शुरू करी, बिकॉज हिंदी मीडियम से इंग्लिश मीडियम में शिफ्ट होना इज अ बिग चैलेंज एंड आई एम श्योर सम ऑफ अस हियर मस्ट बी फ्रॉम द वर्नाक्युलर, सो तो यू वुड बी अवेयर. सो तैयारी करी, दबा के तैयारी करी एंड एज मच एज आई क्वालिफाइड द टेस्ट एंड गॉट द एडमिशन इनटू सिम्बियोसिस. आई वाज वेरी हैप्पी. Came to Symbiosis from Rajasthan, got into the class. In my class, 60 students, 59 of them from English medium, public schools, and and here I was from Hindi medium school. I could understood English very well. I could read the English very well, but spoken English was still not so good. And you can imagine at that age what would happen. The entire class, barring few of them, they realized that my English was very weak. So they started making fun of me. The moment which appeared to be very happy moment for me, slowly it was turning out to be a hellish moment for me. So कई बार लगा कि नहीं यार, I have come to a wrong place. This is not the place where I should be. I think I must go back to the Rajasthan and maybe try and appear for the CA examination and try that. फिर मुझे लगा नहीं, कोशिश तो करनी चाहिए. कोशिश करी लेकिन कामयाब नहीं हुआ. इंटेंसिटी ऑफ द रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम द क्लास केप्ट ऑन कंपाउंडिंग. तो एक दिन हॉस्टल में आया, पूरा सामान पैक किया और सोचा कि कल यहां से चला जाऊंगा. और जैसे मैं सामान लेके जाने लगा तो फिर मेरे मन में ख्याल है कि नहीं यार, अगर मैं आज यहां से चला गया तो ये काला धब्बा मेरी जिंदगी में हमेशा रहेगा और मैं इसको कभी क्लियर नहीं कर पाऊंगा. सारा बैग को अनपैक किया, पक्का किया कि लड़ूंगा. एंड उस दिन डिसाइड किया कि जिस इंग्लिश की वजह से ये लोग मेरा मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं, उसी इंग्लिश में एक दिन पूरी दुनिया में ट्रेनिंग दूंगा, टीचिंग करूंगा। और मैं आपको बताऊं कि आज मैं दुनिया के 50 से ज़्यादा लोकेशंस में फाइनेंस में ट्रेनिंग कर चुका हूं। आज मैं अक्रॉस दी 5 कॉन्टिनेंट्स, जब मैंने आर्सल मित्तल को ज्वाइन किया, across the 5 continents, in Americas, in Europe, in Russia, in Asia, in Africa, across the continent, I have delivered my training program in the same English language that once upon a time was a pain for me. And I could do this because of the entrepreneur that I had in me. Because remember, entrepreneur कभी झुकता नहीं है और हार मानता भी नहीं है। कितनी भी बड़ी मुसीबत हो वो टक्कर देके ही रहेगा। तो जब मैंने आर्सल मित्तल को ज्वाइन किया, तो एक सवाल मेरे दिमाग में आया, एंड आई एम श्योर दिस क्वेश्चन मस्ट बी कमिंग इन द माइंड्स ऑफ एवरी वन ऑफ यू आल्सो, कि यार ये मिस्टर मित्तल की कंपनी 60 से ज्यादा कंट्रीज में है, माइनिंग है, स्टील मेकिंग है, स्टील में भी सब तरह की स्टील मेकिंग है, ब्राजील में है, मैक्सिको में है, कनाडा में है, अमेरिका में है, वेस्ट इंडीज में है, यूरोप में है, अफ्रीका में है, एवरीवेयर. So I was just wondering as to how Mr. Mittal must be controlling the entire business. Is it that every day morning he would pick up his jet और पायलट को बोलेंगे चलो भैया let us go, सारे प्लांट्स की विजिट करके आते हैं, सब जगह उतरेंगे, चढ़ेंगे और देखेंगे प्लांट ठीक चल रहा है कि नहीं? Of course not. Of course not. And then I discovered one question that would help Mr. Mittal control the entire operations across the 5 continents. And that question I'm going to ask all of you, and I would like all of you to answer that question. And that question is, what is lifeline of a business? आपके हिसाब से एक बिजनेस की ऑक्सीजन क्या है? और अगर मैं और भी सिंपलीफाई करके बोलूं तो मेरा मतलब यह है कि ऐसी कौन सी चीज है बिजनेस में, if it is not there, that the business will come to grinding halt or the business will cease to exist. All of you. Cash flow, profit, okay, what? Yeah? Communication, of course, what else? Believe in people, of course, what else? Yeah? Growing profit, okay, profit means growing profit, what else? System in place, okay, what else? Culture of business, yes, what else? Funding, okay. So, change. Somebody said cash flow and somebody said profit. So since we have a limitation of time, let's focus on these. So somebody is saying cash and somebody is saying profit. Now please pay attention, because this is one question that will help you control your business. You know, somebody was saying very rightly कि अगर आपका business आपके बिना नहीं चल सकता, that means something is wrong with you, yes or no? And that is why, because you need to understand those nuances of finance. So somebody said cash and somebody says profit. So I'm slightly confused. What it is, which is lifeline of a business? Is it cash or it is profit? Right? So what I'm going to do is quickly ask everybody in the row wise. Anyone from the row can answer, and just answer it loudly so that everybody can hear you. So the question is, we zero in on cash or the profit, and let's decide. Someone from here? Cash flow. So you mean to say cash actually, right? Okay, good. Someone here quickly? Cash or profit? Profit. 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 No, you can change the answer. है जरूरी नहीं कि आगे बोला वही बोलना है. Liquidity. Okay, so cash. Right. So the last one? Cash flow. Okay, very good. So someone here? Profit.
Viability of running business.
Yeah, so between the two, the cash and the profit, what it is actually? Okay, someone here? Profit. Now friends, let me tell you, lifeline of a business is neither cash nor profit. And why do I say this? Please pay attention. Is profit my lifeline? Need to find out. And remember, these are the questions, I'm repeating it once again, these are the questions that you must always carry in your mind as an entrepreneur if you want to run your business without any mental hassle. Otherwise, you will keep engrossed in your business, your work-life balance, your personal life will get completely screwed and you will be constantly in trouble. So is profit my lifeline? Let's find out. In my business, and please pay attention, मैंने मेरे business में 50 करोड़ का profit कमाया है. कितना? 50 करोड़ का. Is it my lifeline? Need to check. And when I check, what do I find out? When I check, I find out that I have earned a profit of 50 crores for sure. लेकिन मेरा inventory has gone up by 30 crores and my receivables have gone up by 40 crores. Now please tell me, is this profit of 50 crores, is it my lifeline? And the answer is no. Why? Because I have earned a profit of 50 crores for sure. But my inventory is up by 30 crores, my receivables are up by 40 crores. That means I have got 50 crores in my hand, but my 70 crores are locked up in the inventory and in my receivables, and therefore this profit of 50 crores is not my lifeline. Will I able to survive in my business with this kind of situation? Yes or no, everybody? No, of course. So remember, profit is not my lifeline. Is cash my lifeline? Need to find out. So when I find out, what do I come to know? I come to know कि मेरे बैंक में 200 crore cash is lying, 200 crores are lying in my bank account. Is it cash? The amount lying in your bank account, is it cash? And the answer, of course, is it is cash. I can use it for anything that I want to use it for my business. But is it my lifeline? Need to find out. And when I find out, what do I come to know? I come to know that this 200 crores which is lying in my bank account has come from where? It has come from a loan that I have taken from a bank called ICICI. Now please tell me, is this 2 crore my lifeline? And the answer is no. Why? Because not only I have to pay this money back to the bank one day, but I also have to pay interest on it. And therefore, please remember, as an entrepreneur, and this is what you must constantly remember, because this is what will help you in controlling your business, that profit should not worry me. Cash is all right, but these two are, cash is not my lifeline, profit is also not my lifeline. Then the question is, what is my lifeline? And the answer is, my lifeline is cash profit. What is my lifeline? Everybody? Cash profit. That means what? That means profit which I have earned and it is with me. That will give growth to my business. That will give life to my business, and that is what will help you to control my business. I can tell you, all the big entrepreneurs of the world, all the chairmen and the presidents and the CEO and the managing directors, they don't look at the P&L at all. They would look at the P&L only at the end of 3 months when they have to release the results. But one thing that they look at is the cash profit. So अगर हम जाके मित्तल साहब को बोले हैं कि सर हमारी कंपनी ने इस साल में $10 billion का प्रॉफिट किया है, मित्तल साहब बोलेंगे forget about the profit, tell me how much is cash profit, because that is what will drive. So please understand, the first question as to what is the purpose of a business is value creation. Now how does it help you? अब again, when I joined ArcelorMittal, मैं आपको बताऊं कि ArcelorMittal is one company, I'm sure all of you must be aware, which produces 10% steel of the world. ArcelorMittal दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी स्टील और माइनिंग कंपनी है. ArcelorMittal दुनिया का 10% स्टील प्रोड्यूस करती है. और मैं आपको बताऊं कि ArcelorMittal पूरी दुनिया में अकेला एक ऐसा ग्रुप है which has become so big not by setting up new plants, but it has become so big by acquiring the companies. तो मिस्टर मित्तल ने क्या किया? मिस्टर मित्तल ने पोर्ट ऑफ स्पेन, Trinidad and Tobago, वहाँ एक प्लांट एक्वायर किया, मैक्सिको में एक प्लांट एक्वायर किया, कजाकिस्तान में एक प्लांट एक्वायर किया, ब्राज़ील में एक प्लांट एक्वायर किया, यूक्रेन में एक प्लांट एक्वायर किया, साउथ अफ्रीका में एक प्लांट एक्वायर किया. Now this is how he kept on acquiring the plants all over. And I'm sure one question that come to your mind, and it should come to your mind, how do you decide कि भाई ये कार नहीं है. It's not buying a car that you go to the market, you go to the shop and you know the showroom and find out कि भाई ये कार की प्राइस क्या है. वो आपको बोलता है ये प्राइस, कार की प्राइस ये है, and you pay it and you take the car home. You are buying a company, and that company is not having one plant. That company is having plant all over the world. It is making steel and different kind of facilities. How do you take a decision? Your understanding of the fact as to what is value creation will help you take that decision. तो जब मिस्टर मित्तल कोई कंपनी एक्वायर करते हैं, he doesn't go and look at each and every department of that company, because if Mr. Mittal does it, it's going to take him 2 weeks, because some of the plants are so big that you would not be able to complete even in 2 weeks. So what he does, he only asks someone to put the numbers in place, and he looks at these numbers and finds out whether because of this acquisition we are creating value or we are not creating value. So if the numbers tell you, yes, we are going to create value, you acquire that company. If the number tells you that you are not going to create value, you are going to destroy value, then what you do, you just don't decide to take that company. Now this is how these two questions are going to help you. Now, to become an entrepreneur, what are the 2 important things that all of us need? And let me find out from you. What? You know, it's very risky to ask Akshay as to how much time, because every time you ask, he says 5 minutes actually. So what is that you need to become a successful entrepreneur, all of you?
Vision.
Yep. Team, yes, of course. Vision, what else?
Attitude.
Decision making, yes, what else?
Attitude.
Attitude, what else?
Business plan.
Of course, business plan comes subsequently, what else?
Mindset.
Risk taking ability, what else? Of course, that is part of the once you